Good morning, Harney District Hospital. Welcome to episode 7 of Some Good News, Harney District Hospital. Just so you know, this is going to be our last episode of Some Good News, Harney District Hospital. In the future, we'll look at some other format of communicating, but for now, this is going to be our very last episode 7 in this type of format. Hey, let's start out with a couple of photos from HDH Family Care. Here we have almost the whole clinic gathered together on this beautiful, sunshiny 84-degree day. I'd like to just start out with some updates around from the Health District. An update on COVID-19 and where we're at with our preparedness and our work. One of the biggest challenges we've had is testing and PPE. Right now we're looking pretty good with our PPE. We have 3,535 gowns. We have 13,595 surgical and procedural masks. We have 1,172 N95s and 6 cappers, with 6 more cappers on the way. N95s have been where we've been the most worried, and I have been in discussion with the Paiute tribe here in Burns, and they are graciously going to donate to us another 1,000 N95s. So we should be sitting pretty good with our PPE supplies. As far as testing, Mike Haynes has done a great job keeping us supplied in the rapid test. We have approximately 150 of those on hand right now, and we continue to test any mother coming in to deliver a baby, our elective surgeries, and any of our patients that are on the inpatient floor, whether that's inpatient, observation, swing bed. So we're still testing all of those individuals. The ones that we're not testing all of is in the ER. Visiting hours or visiting restrictions, we've loosened those up a little bit. As you know, if it's a COVID-19 patient, we're going to be more strict. If they're not COVID-19, then they will be allowed limited visitors during times with certain restrictions. And so feel really good about where we're at in our preparedness efforts in case of any future surge or spike, and appreciate everybody's work and patience over the last several months. We are also ramping up our elective surgeries. Per the state's guidelines, the month of May, we've been at 50% of volumes, and we're looking at increasing that in June. We're doing more other procedures. We're doing more testing, more therapy, and so we're really trying to get back to where we were. The clinic is fully open again, doing all of their work in the clinic. So thank you everybody for ramping back up and helping us get to where we need to be there. From a financial standpoint, we have suffered some heavy losses over the last several months with volumes being so low, but we've also benefited from some government grants. In the past couple months, we've received about $7.5 million in grants, which will help cover the losses that we've experienced so far and give us a cushion for some future losses if volumes stay down or if there's another spike or surge and we get cut back again. So things are looking pretty good there. An update on construction. The clinic construction is pretty much finished. They're just tidying up a couple last things. So the clinic is almost put back together and looking really nice. If you haven't been over to the clinic, I encourage you to go over and do a tour. The remodel is excellent, and it's really looking really good. The second project, the pharmacy remodel, we had put on hold temporarily to reduce the traffic in the hospital. We are now gearing back up to finish the pharmacy remodel. That should be complete by the end of June. And then our third project is remodeling the Racine building for a specialty clinic. The VA is currently there right now, and they are building their new clinic over by Rite Aid and should be there by middle of July. And so we'll be looking at July-August timeframe to have some construction done, maybe even early fall, so that we can move our specialists out there. That'd be visiting specialists, it'd be our general surgeons, our orthopedic program. We'll all be there located at the Racine building and working out of that new specialty clinic. A quick update on providers. We have 3 providers leaving us over the next 30 days or so, next month. Amanda Jewell, who we very much appreciate all her hard work. She's been a wonderful provider. She's winding down. I believe this is her last week. Then in early July, we've got Dr. Richardson leaving and Dr. Thomas. Dr. Thomas is moving to New Zealand to practice, and Dr. Richardson is moving to Central California so he can spend more time with his wife there. We have been changing our provider model with this transition. We've hired another, as you're aware, another OBGYN to complement Dr. McNamara. She's here 2 weeks and off 2 weeks, and Dr. Kabala will complement her in the off weeks, and he'll be here later this summer. In the ER, Dr. Johnston and Dr. Clark are going to be our full-time ER doctors during the week, and then on the weekends we'll continue to use our locum ER doctors. And then in the clinic, Dr. Vanyo is going to be our primary physician along with our nurse practitioners right now, which is Thor Hoff, Mary Schimmel-Finnig, and then we have Danielle Peters joining us later this summer. We are continuing to recruit for 2 more doctors to be in the clinic, physicians who want to focus on their clinic work. So that's where we are with physicians. Appreciate our doctors very much, the hard work they do, their dedication, their commitment. Thank you. This next section is going to be an interview with Madison Woodward. She's one of our nurses and wanted to have an opportunity to highlight nursing and Madison specifically. So enjoy this interview with Madison. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm here with Madison Woodward, one of our nurses. And Hi. Madison has kindly agreed to do an interview. And so I've got a few questions for Madison and love to hear her answers. So Madison, let's start with why you decided to go into nursing.
I actually kind of fell into it. I actually did a school to work here job study in high school and just really liked the atmosphere, the people, what they were doing, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do when I went to college, but I ended up going on a medical mission down in Guatemala, which just turned me to the healthcare field and nursing in general, and then I just kind of applied and got in, and then I've loved it ever since.
Great. So in August, you'll have been here a year as a nurse. What's your first year been like?
It's constantly learning, constantly changing. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can, and every day is a new adventure for me. You just never know where you're gonna be. I've started out on the floor and now I'm working in the ER, and it's a lot, but it's exciting and I really like it.
Is that what you expected?
No, actually, I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I think I just decided to keep an open mind and go from there, and it's been a lot more, I don't know if I would say it's more hard work than I thought, but it's hard work.
It really is. You guys work incredibly hard. So this last few months has been challenging with the COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
What's the last couple of months been like for you? And as you've taken care of COVID patients, what kind of things have you had to think about, and how has that changed your day-to-day?
I think there's been a lot of uncertainty with everything going on, and just a lot of uneasiness and maybe a little bit of nervousness just because this is something new that we've never dealt with before. And we've kind of had to come up with new ways to take care of these patients where we limit exposures, limit use of PPE. We started calling the patients and talking to them on the phone before we go in the room just in case they needed anything. That's been a big help. I think just that the constant changing of everything has been difficult for everyone, just because one day is one set of rules, regulations, ideas, and the next it's something different. So I think we've had to keep an open mind and just go with the flow essentially and do the best that we can.
What have you done to keep your family safe?
When I've been taking care of possible positive or positive patients, I change here at work. I make sure I leave my clothes here. The EVS staff has washed all my clothes for me here. They've done that for all the staff who wants to leave their dirty scrubs. I leave my shoes in the back of my pickup. They never come in my house even before this. Just lots of hand washing. And then I do lots of research on my own time just to make sure that I'm the best nurse that I can be for my patients. So that also translates over to taking care of my family. So my grandparents are higher risk, so my family and I have been grocery shopping for them so that they don't have to go out and expose themselves. And it's kind of been a big change for everybody, but it's kind of become a habit now. So just being a little bit more conscious of everything and But I am out going outside and enjoying the fresh air. I think that's the most important thing you can do.
So how do you feel when people call you a healthcare hero?
I don't know if I'm a hero, and I don't know if my coworkers would say that either. This is what we're doing. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have COVID or a broken leg or something like that. We just do our best to take care of you. And I think that as long as the community and the whole world is doing their part to take care of themselves, then we can do our job too.
Good. Well, on behalf of the hospital administration and everybody that works here, just thank you to you and your colleague nurses. We recognize how much you guys sacrifice, how hard you work, and just a big heartfelt thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Our next and final segment for this episode is an interview with our board chair, Sharon Davis. Sharon has been a great supporter of the hospital, of us as an organization, of me personally, and had a great interview with Sharon, and I'd like to share that with you. Hi, I'm here with Sharon Davis, our board chair, and she's graciously admitted to do an interview with me. So I'd like you to get to know Sharon a little bit through this video. So Sharon, why don't you start with telling us why you chose to be on the board, how long you've been on the board, and maybe what your responsibilities are as a board chair. Well, let's start with those questions.
Okay, I've actually been on the board for 5 years, but I served on the budget board for the hospital for a number of years before that. And I decided to be on the board because several board members asked me to join the board. So I decided to join the board and have really enjoyed it. Since I've become chair, my responsibilities are to preside over the meeting, and I meet regularly with the CEO and also sign documents, and I feel like it's one of my responsibilities to stay informed on what the day-to-day operations of the hospital are.
Great, that's fantastic. What's something that you're most proud of during your tenure so far on the board?
Well, there are a couple of things. We've made some great strides in getting specialty people over here so that our community doesn't have to travel to Bend, and also I'm very proud of the fact that we're more financially stable than we were. So we've recruited some great doctors, we have some great specialty care doctors, and we're really in a position to meet the needs of our community.
That's fantastic. Okay, and finally, what would you like to share with the staff? What messages would you like to share? If you're looking at me right now, but pretend there's 100 people that you're looking at. What do you have to say to them?
Well, I would really like to thank our frontline workers. You know, it is amazing how they have pulled together, they've been flexible, they've stood ready to do whatever it takes to meet the needs of the community during this COVID crisis. I really appreciate our doctors and our nurses and all the support staff for being willing to go the extra mile. Thank you so much. It really instills confidence in our community to know that even in a crisis situation, we're going to continue to provide the quality of care they've come to expect from us. And I'd also like to really thank some of our providers that we're going to be losing here soon. Amanda Jewell, our family nurse practitioner, has been wonderful. Amanda, we're going to miss you. Chris Richardson has been such an asset, and we're really sorry to see you go, but thank you for your service here. And Larissa Thomas, have really enjoyed getting to know you and working with you, and I'd like to thank you especially for your work with the foundation as well as being our primary care provider. Thank you so much.
Good. And Sharon, on behalf of all of our staff, thank you for your time and service on our board and as the board chair. I don't think anybody realizes how many hours you put in, not just at meetings, but preparing for meetings, meeting with me. And you do it all without any pay, without any compensation, as well as the other board members who do the same. But just thank you for the guidance you give us and your support of our health district, our hospital, and all of our staff.
It has been a joy and a pleasure. Thank you.
Sharon, thank you so much. And that concludes episode 7 of Some Good News, Harney District Hospital. Thank you for watching this episode and all the episodes that we've had. It's been fun for me to do these. Again, down the road, we'll be looking at other ways to share information, possibly continue with videos under some different format. But for now, we're signing off from Some Good News, Harney District Hospital. Take care, everybody.